the last pad in my series of pads in my collection that I would recommend for general use, and if you want something a little different, is what used to be my old reliable and my go-to travel pad before I had to get the Outlander because I left this pad back home and was without a performance pad, is the Prologix 12-inch marching pad. Now, Prologix is kind of weird. They've been in the business for quite a bit of time. Not a lot of people know about them because they're honestly not as good. I kind of attached to them when I started marching because they made pretty good 6-inch pads. I actually do have that 6-inch pad I still got from Dayton, Ohio when I did drumline championships, indoor drumline championships there. And they make okay pads. They make serviceable pads. And they do it at a reasonable price. 12-inch is going to be $60. Your 6-inch, if you can get one, is probably going to be $20, $30, $25, something like that. $20, that's what I paid for mine. And they're good. And if you care more about an environmentally conscious pad, Prologix has got you there a little bit, but I will get to why there is another pad that is kind of better, but I would understand why you would go with this if you wanted more recycled material and stuff like that, because they actually do use recycled rubber for their backside, which is their less articulate side, which mimics more of a gum rubber. They use recycled rubber for that. I forget the percentage, or if it's all that. And then they use a little bit in here, not as much on this articulate side. And it's just a no frills standard pad. And it's got a plastic rim, And then, so it doesn't eat through your sticks, which is great. It's a little thinner. I don't like as much, but it's good. And the pad sounds a little weird. I say that because it's not as articulate and tight sounding, but it feels all right. It feels fine. It's a non-offensive pad, to say the least. And then the other side is really not that much quieter. Whether it's from the material they used, it's a little higher pitched, and it sounds a little better in my opinion. But it just sounds like more of what like an Evans Real Feel will sound like. So if you're getting it for this backside that's a little bit quieter, I actually bought this pad specifically because I was looking for a new 12-inch pad, and I wanted something with a quieter backside, and this was the quietest backside that I could find, despite the fact that it's really not. I think it was just in the scenario I was in, because in the tent, everything is quiet because everything is loud, because you're at a marching event and everyone's playing on cymbals, marching snares, and all that jazz, and testing out earbuds with that, and it's weird, or earplugs. But this pad, while not a lot of people know about it, and it's one of my more fun pads, I can't recommend it outside of mine. I can't recommend it because Off-World simply makes better products for the money. If you want recycled materials and you want a more environmentally conscious pad, I would recommend you to Beetle Percussion. And what Beetle Percussion has been doing is they've been making pads out of wood used from trees that have been eaten out in California by these invasive beetles, essentially. And they remake the pads there, and they're a great cause. I really wanted to get my hands actually on one of the bracelets that they sell, because for each pad or the bracelets as well, they dedicate to planting a certain amount of trees. I forget how many trees it is per pad. I know it's 6 for the bracelet, but they're basically a really environmentally conscious group, and I really love what they do. And I've always wanted to pick up a beetle percussion pad. The only problem with them versus Prologix is $60 for a 12-inch pad. Not too bad. Beetle percussion is like $80, and if you wanted a marching one, like the Jack Signature, I forget what it's called, that's like $120. So you're paying Zymox prices for a pad that sounds basically about the same as this and plays basically about the same as this mixed with a real feel. So it's still a decent pad to play on, but it doesn't feel any better than a real feel. It doesn't sound any better than this. So the pads you're not buying the pad for the quality and how good it is. You're buying it because of the environmental consciousness of it. And that's the same that's going to go for this Prologix pad. You're not going to buy this Prologix pad because you're like, this is the best sounding pad, this is the best feeling pad. You're going to go, I don't have the money to get a beetle percussion pad, but I still want a decent sounding pad that uses recycled materials and is better for the environment, so I'm going to get a Prologix pad. Because beetle percussion pads are great. Their 6-inch ones I think are like $40, and I've wanted to get my hands on one of those, but they go sold out so frequently. It's really hard to get them in stock, and anything that is in stock is usually the ones that cost like $120 or $180 for that custom wood style and whatnot, and that's for one-sided pads as well. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up Prologix. I loved their Logix series when they did variations of how much rebound you wanted back when they used to do that, like 3-4 years ago, like not too long ago, was when they did that. Like 4 or 5 years ago was when they still sold that at Dayton, Ohio, where they did their Blue Thunder pad, which is more of a conditioned pad. The green one was in between. It kind of felt the best, and red one was like super bouncy. Their Red Thunder, and yeah, when they did that, I really liked it. It didn't justify to get the 12-inch ones for $60, but yeah, I don't know, felt a little downhill. That's about it.